Hello everybody, welcome to my new video. Hello my Beatles friends, that's what I always say. So, first of all, I'd like to wish happy holidays to all of you. Easter coming, so let me wish you happy holidays to all of you. It's a good Friday sunny day and I hope you also have a good weather. Second of all, I would like to take this moment and wish one of the members of this vinyl community, Beatles Brad, that he's been treated by doctors in a hospital, and I wish him all the best and a fast recovery. Okay, so Beatles Brad, thank you for commenting yesterday on my video, and I wish you a full and fast recovery from your medical treatment, and continue commenting and watching my videos. Thank you. So I wish you all the best, man. Okay, so in my today's video I decided to take all the Beatles compilation albums that I have in my collection and rank them. So I'm going to rank Beatles collections from worst to the best. Now, as we all know, there are endless compilations all around the world, and it will be impossible to rank all of them. So what I decided to do, I decided to stick only to the compilations that were released on Apple, either Parlophone or Capitol. So compilations like the greatest on Odeon, once again on Odeon, World's Best on Odeon, also World's Best on Odeon, on Amiga from East Germany, and Beatles Greatest from Israel. And these compilations will not be included in my compilation. Also, I have Spanish compilations and Italian compilations. I'm not going to include them here because these compilations are deviations of the standard compilations that were released. So I'm going to start from Oldies but Goldies and finish by one. And I would like to rank the compilations as I see fit, as I think. This is only my opinion. Okay, so the worst compilation by the Beatles, in my opinion, is the American version of Rarities. And I would like to explain why. I mean, I like the packaging, and I like the inner sleeve, but that's where it stops. I mean, I don't like it because it starts off the Please Please Me songs like Love Me Do Misery There's a Place. Then it goes to a German song, She Loves You, and here we have only She Loves You in German. We don't have I Wanna Hold Your Hand. Then it goes to a heavier side like I'm the Warless, Penny Lane, Helter Skelter, Don't Pass Me By. I mean, from every album taken one song, two songs, and the thing that really disappointed me is that it finishes off with You Know My Name, Look Up the Number, and then it says here Sgt. Pepper Inner Groove, so it's a couple of seconds, so it's like 2 seconds of this sound noise that comes from the Sgt. Pepper in the end after their day in the life. I mean, because in American version of Sgt. Pepper, this noise was cut out, so they were thinking what to put here, what did we miss, so they took it, cut it and put it here and just made unnecessary nonsense. So I was really disappointed by this album. I mean, no offense to American guys, but I don't like this album. I think that song choice is very poor. Okay, sorry. So, the Rarities, but the British one that came with the box. Now, this one is a little bit better. It has 17 songs. It has both German numbers, She liebt dich and Komm gib mir deine Hand. Okay, I like this one. And here is also Across the Universe. Yes, it is. Inner Light. I mean, whatever we have on the American, we also have here. She's a Woman, Matchbox, I Call Her Name, Rain. So all the songs that were not released on the albums, these are the non-album singles and B-sides. This is the poor version of Past Masters. Okay, so it's a good compilation, it's an interesting one, but the song choice also, the order of the songs is not so good. I mean, it starts with Across the Universe, then it goes to 1965, Yes It Is, then it goes back to Inner Light, then it goes back to I'll Get You 1963, and then the Thank You Girl, and then German ones, and then 66. I mean, it's jumping from year to year. It doesn't go year by year. So this compilation is better than the American one, but still some things are missing for me. Okay, so the next one, the Beatles' greatest, no, 20 greatest hits. This is a very poor version of one. Some songs were cut in length in order to make it to one single album, and these are the songs that took number one. I mean, all the songs on this album have number one. Once again, I like the packaging, but I don't like the content. I noticed that some songs are shortened. Yeah, Hey Jude is a short version, which I didn't like at all. It's just compressed in order to push everything into one album, and not all the number ones appear here. So it's neither this nor this. It's not the full version, and it's not all the number one songs. I mean, I don't consider this one greatest album, because there are other songs which could be here just as the ones that appear here. So once again, just like the American Rarities is a poor version of the British Rarities, this is the Greatest Hits is a poor version of the one. And here we come to the one. This one, double LP album from 2000, which includes all the number ones. I totally agree with that. These songs took number one and they have the right to be here. But in my opinion, there are some other songs that didn't take number one, just like Strawberry Fields Forever, must be included on the Greatest Hits compilation album. I mean, there is no Beatles compilation album for me without Strawberry Fields Forever. Okay, so from that perspective, there are some other songs that I would include here and some songs that I would omit from here and made the better album for me. Okay, so that's why it took number 7. Next one, Hey Jude. I really love this album. This album is not so long, it's a very short album, but it has all the specific songs together, like Hey Jude, Revolution, Belvedere and Yoko, Rain, Old Brown Shoe, Lady Madonna. I mean, all the songs from one era. But what I do not like is that 2 songs, I Should Have Known Better and Can't Buy Me Love, were included here, because those 2 songs were included on the American version of Hard Day's Night soundtrack that was released by United Artists, not by Capitol. Now, on the Capitol albums, those 2 songs were not released until this album. So they forgot, like 5 years later, they forgot, we have another 2 songs, what to do? Stick them here. I mean, just to cover. So that's why I'm arguing all the time with American people about American albums. American albums are just shuffled. They took all the songs, made one big salad, and released them as it is. And this one I don't like. So I think that 2 songs, I Should Have Known Better and Can't Buy Me Love, do not fit with this cover. They are 5 years before this cover, so they do not fit. But just because American albums did not include those 2 songs back in the day, so they remembered and they stick them here. So that's the only thing that I don't like. But all the other songs, they're coming from one era, 68, 69. They do fit here and they do fit with this cover, and I think this is one of the greatest Beatles covers ever. Okay, so that's why it's not so high in my collections. Next one, number 6. The Red album, which is 62 to 66. This one I consider as a good compilation. I really like this compilation, and it includes all the early Beatles songs. And I have to admit that I'm more fan of the later Beatles catalog than the early one, so that's why I put it number 6. But as the compilation as itself, it's nothing bad with this one. It's a great compilation. It includes all the songs from that era. None of the songs are missing, and they're just great. I mean, they're not limited to number ones. They're not shortened. They're just the original versions, and all of them are here. And I really love this compilation. It's just not so high in my ranking, just because I'm a fan of the later Beatles period. Okay. Number 5. The first ever compilation by Beatles, which is Oldies but Goldies. This is the shortened version of the Red Album. And what I do like this album is that this is one of the first albums ever that I got into my collection. This is the first ever compilation of the Beatles that I got. This was bought by my brother by accident. He just accidentally saw the name Beatles here. And this is the very album, the Israeli pressing, which I'm really connected to and really love. And I just like this compilation. So for me, this order of the songs is the first time ever compilation, and this one is the better for me, and all the others just don't fit. And yeah, we have here 16 early songs, and the first time that I heard Bad Boy, written by Williams. Okay, so nothing bad about this one, like this compilation. And number 5. Now, number 4, something that I didn't have for a long time in my collection. This is rock and roll. This is the latest compilation that I got into my collection, and I got it only this year. Until this year, until January, I didn't have this compilation in my collection, and I was always reluctant about it. I didn't always like this compilation, and I didn't think that it fits me. But after like 5 or 6 times I listened to this album, I mean, all the songs are heavy and rock and roll songs and noisy songs of the Beatles. I mean, there are no love songs and no Paul McCartney granny songs here, so all of them are just great. And I mean, I'm not the fan of this artwork. I mean, I think that this artwork doesn't fit here at all. I mean, what is this? It has nothing to do with the Beatles, and there's a Coca-Cola glass in the middle and 50s cars. It has nothing to do with the Beatles, but just because it's rock and roll and mostly many songs are cover songs from 50s, I mean, I think that's why it got this cover. But I do like the songs like the side 3 and side 4, like Dizzy Miss Lizzy, Anytime at All, Drive My Car, and Back in USSR, Helter Skelter. I mean, all the noisy songs and all the heavy songs are together. And when I listened to it, like the whole day I was at home doing something, and I listened to it through, and I did like it. I mean, I was always reluctant, but surprisingly, I was very fond of this album, and I did like this album. So that's why it comes to number 4 in my top 11. Okay, so the next one is considered to be 2 different separate albums, but it was released in 1988 as a double album, so that's why I include it as a one release with double album. So we have here Past Masters Volume 1, and here we have Past Masters Volume 2. This is the original promo version, factory sample, released in 1988. This is original Great Britain pressing. Now, this compilation sealed the Beatles' discography. I mean, until 1988, the only possibility to listen to all the Beatles songs, it was by collecting their original albums and collecting the American albums and the singles and the rarities. So it was a mess. Now, this album finished everything. It includes here all the non-album singles and B-sides of the Beatles entirely. So if you have these two albums, you don't need anything else. Well, and the 13 albums, studio albums released. Why I say 13? Because Magical Mystery Tour is already considered as a studio album, official studio album, although it's only an American version. Okay, so having this album, we don't need the rarities because all the songs from rarities are included here. Okay, so I really think that it's a great compilation. It's a great deal for Beatles fans, and thanks Parlophone for releasing that album, because before that it was a mess. But this one answered all the questions, so there is no doubt that it's a great compilation and there is no doubt that it's a must-have. So it's number 3. Okay, number 2, the blue one. Like I said, I do like all the Beatles albums, all the periods, but the later period after 66. I mean, 65, 66 is the beginning. My favorite album is Rubber Soul. And I have to say that the serious part of the Beatles catalog, the later one, is better. So that's why I put the blue album on the second spot in my top. And I really like that this one includes Strawberry Fields Forever, because this is my favorite song, and it includes so many. It starts with Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane, then it has a couple of songs from Sgt. Pepper, and finishes side 1 with All You Need Is Love. I mean, side 1 is ideal, is the perfect side for an album. I mean, there are no throwaways here, just a wonderful. Second one is the I'm the Wireless, Hello Goodbye, Fool on the Hill, Magical Mystery Tour, my second favorite album. And then we have the singles, Lady Madonna, Hey Jude, Revolution. I mean, this also, side 2 is also perfect. Side 3, we go to White Album, which is Back in USSR, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, one of my favorite songs from that White Album, must be included here. Obladi Oblada I would miss. I don't think that Obladi Oblada should be here, but anyway. And then it goes to Let It Be. And then we go back to Abbey Road. So, no throwaways on this album. Maybe Obladi Oblada, but I'm not sure. And this is my one of my favorite compilations, my second favorite compilation, because I'm a fan of the later Beatles albums. And all the songs are strong here. I mean, all the strong parts from the later albums are included here, and this is just a perfect compilation. And here comes my last one, my personal favorite, my best compilation, something that started my Beatles collection, something that will always remain in my collection. I've shown it already. Something that was given to me when I was only 7 years old. This is the Love Songs. This is the best compilation ever, just because it's the first songs ever that are listened by the Beatles. I mean, this is the very version that was given to me way back in 1989. And I cannot live without this compilation. These are the entire catalog of the Beatles, and taken only the love and lyric and soft songs. And I have to admit that this is the best compilation for me, my favorite compilation, and I just cannot live without this compilation. So that's why I put it in #1 spot. Okay, so by this, I would like to finish the ranking of my love songs, of my Beatles compilation albums. And maybe some of you might be disappointed about my #1, but this is not only about Beatles songs, this is also about my personal collection. So, something that I connected with all my life. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you like this idea of ranking Beatles compilation albums. And if you have some comments or thoughts or opinions on something that I missed, I will be more than happy to read your comments. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. I gotta go because my wife woke up. It's early in the morning. it's 9 o'clock in the morning. So, see you. Bye bye.